Hey there, I'm Snoodyboo. Today we're going to talk about lose streak and win streak and how to approach each one of these. So guys, we have two approaches, win streak and lose streak, and how we're going to focus on each one of them. In order to win streak, you need at least a few 2 stars so you can go for a strong opener. Otherwise, you'll have to sell all of your units to go for an econ approach. The general thing about win streaking is you need at least 2 upgraded units and slammable items for these units to make the best out of your opener. While win streaking, forget about all those builds you see online, just slam the best items you have at each point in the game in order to keep this win streak going. That's the most important thing to take into consideration. Next important step, go for combat augments. These augments are going to reinforce your team to be even stronger and help you keep up with the pace of the game. For example, Lucky Gloves. This augment will give you perfect items on each one of your units, which makes them all a different level of threat, and you can have a strong carry, a strong tank, every one of them being very useful to the team. Investing into this win streak means everything, so we actually have to level much earlier than usual to protect the win streak. For example, you have to go level 7 on 3-5, even if it costs you a lot of econ to keep strong in the mid game. So what are we trying to achieve with all of this? We're trying to get to level 8 and 9 as soon as possible so we can access epic and legendary units, which are the most powerful in TFT overall. And that is so we can actually get there before other players have access to these units. And that's why we have to save up a lot of money while win streaking to get to this point. All of this might sound very confusing to you. So how are we going to recognize exactly when to level or how to make the best of it? So in TFT, every time you press the XP button, you're going to get 4 experience units. This means you're going to get perfect intervals for 8 XP, 12, 16, and so on. For example, the most natural thing we have in TFT is going from level 3 to level 4, which only costs you 4 XP and always makes you feel a little bit stronger. Over time, the TFT community has gotten very used to leveling at some exact intervals. For example, at stage 2-1, we go from level 3 to level 4. At stage 2-5, we go from level 4 to level 5. At stage 3-2, we go to level 6. This all feels very natural to us because we can actually get there having a lot of money left over so we can keep on pushing the tempo of the lobby. And what exactly do I mean by pushing the lobby? Well, you're gonna have to put a lot of pressure on your opponents, and this means having more units on your board. Each extra unit is 2 more damage for your opponent. Let's say you win a round by 6 of your units. This is at least 12 damage your opponent is taking, plus the extra damage for the stage that we're on. So that's a lot of pressure, and they're gonna have to hurry if they want to come back in that game. So remember, if you want to go for a win streak approach, you need upgraded units, you want to put pressure on your lobby by getting to higher levels as soon as possible, which will allow you to get to those epic and legendary units, and we want to reinforce those with a lot of combat augments so you're going to feel really powerful throughout the game. So let's talk about the lose streak a little bit. Everybody fears this a lot because you're always feeling like you're playing from behind, you have a low HP total, but sometimes your opener just doesn't give you any more options. You don't have any upgraded units or you don't have good items, so you're just gonna have to go for that econ approach and try to make the best out of it. How can I feel safer while playing lose streak? You want to go for those econ augments. These augments are going to give you extra income, more money. Some will give you more intervals for economy, some will just give you extra gold each round, but they're going to help you get to those comps as soon as possible. Or you can also go for some comp-specific augments. Let's say you're playing a Gnar reroll comp and you're getting a Warden's Bat, which make him a lot stronger. You have to find your direction as early as possible, either through econ or some very specific augments, which will help you get there easier. Each set of TFT, there's always an econ trait. This time it's Fortune, we've had Heartsteel. It's actually the second iteration of Fortune, so they're always trying to meme it a little bit to make it a little bit more spicy. How are we going to recognize if this trait is good for us or not? Usually, when you're losing, there's no disadvantage to putting an econ trait on your board, because you can either lose and not get anything extra for it, or put Fortune in there and maybe have a spicy cash out that will help you out further on. And what does Fortune really do? So this trait, every time you field it, a dice will be rolled and a number will appear. After the number of rounds, you will get an extra reward. So let's say, for example, you hit a 6. After 6 rounds, you will get an extra reward for having placed those units on your board. Obviously, those units are not always going to be great for you, so there's a risk-reward kind of factor you have to take into consideration for this synergy. While lose streaking, scouting is way more important than when you're in a win streak. Usually when you're in a win streak, you're way too focused on your own units and how to make the best out of it. But while you're lose streaking, you only have to make interest, so you have a lot of spare time to check out what your opponents are doing. Make sure the line of play you're going for is available for you and nobody else is going for it, because otherwise you're going to be in trouble. While scouting, it's very important to know what your opponents are doing, so you have to recognize exactly what you're trying to approach. For example, this set, we have some very specific item holders for different situations. Let's take the Bard comp. He's the best item holder for Guinsus that there is in their entire game. So if you see by somebody with a Ginsus built there, he's trying to go for the Bard comp. Stay away from it. It's very dangerous to contest the comp from somebody who's already built a Ginsus. And that's the most important thing about scouting, recognizing their main item and where it's going to go. When the first carousel comes around, you should have decided more or less what comp you're going for. Because from now on, you're always going to have to take the items that suit your comp the best. So let's say, for example, you are going for that Bard comp and you don't have a Guinsus. You're going to try to have to go for those components to get as many Guinsus as possible and make your Bard really pop off in the future. Once you've decided the comp you're going for, you will already know more or less when you have to roll, or you can help yourself from online guides. For example, in this Bard comp, you're trying to go for a level 7 approach, where you have the best chance to actually go for the 3 cost units. So save up all of your gold to get to that desired level, and then roll as much as possible to hit your units 2-star. While lose streaking, there are 3 main approaches for reroll comps. You've got 1 cost units, 2 cost units, and 3 cost units. So for example, on 1 cost units, you try to get to level 5 naturally and slow roll above 50 gold throughout the entirety of stage 3, so we get those 3-star units. Regarding 2 costs, our best odds are at level 6. Same concept, we try to get to level 6 with 50 gold and slow roll for those 2 cost units. And finally, the 3 cost approach. At level 7, it feels most comfortable, so try to get there with 50 gold and do the same thing. Obviously, the higher the level, it becomes more expensive, but also usually your units become a little bit more powerful, so it's a bit more rewarding. Ultimately, we have the most YOLO approach of them all, which is trying to go straight to level 8. This means we're not playing stage 2 or stage 3, which is obviously very dangerous, but otherwise you can't save up enough money to get there. This way, we will be the first person to get to level 8 and actually be able to roll for those epic units, which will give us the highest priority on the strongest comp of the metagame. I don't recommend this playstyle for you if you're not used to lose streaking, because you have to be really fast in your transition, otherwise you're just going straight 8th. So remember, overall, while lose streaking, you have to take into consideration econ augments to get more interest, you have to go for the units that other people aren't trying to buy, econ trades will help you along the way to get better rewards, and try to decide what level you're going to end on so you can actually know what comp is best for you. So that's it for the win streak and lose streak concept. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did recording this piece. And I also hope to see you very soon, the 26th of April, for the first GSC, where the best European players are going to face off in their tournament to see who's the very best. See you soon. Bye bye.